Today we're talking about something that's raising a lot of eyebrows in the Nintendo community, and it's buried in the fine print of the new Switch 2 user agreement. Nintendo has updated its terms, and there's one line that's got people talking. They now say they can permanently disable or brick your console if you violate the rules. That's right. If you try to mod, jailbreak, or use unauthorized software on your Switch 2, Nintendo is saying they might just shut your system down. Remotely. For good. Let's break down exactly what this means, why it matters, and whether this is just a scare tactic, or something they're really prepared to do. Now, we all know Nintendo has never been friendly toward piracy, emulation, or console modding. That's nothing new. They've spent years aggressively protecting their IP and cracking down on anything that even looks like unauthorized access. But with the Switch 2, they've taken it a step further. The newly updated Nintendo Account User Agreement lays out, in no uncertain terms, what happens if you break their rules. And this time, it includes language that gives them the right to disable your console entirely. Let's compare the old and new terms. The previous version already had pretty standard restrictions. You are not allowed to lease, rent, sublicense, publish, copy, modify, adapt, translate, reverse engineer, decompile, or disassemble all or any portion of the Nintendo account services. Now here's what's in the updated Switch 2 terms. You may not publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create derivative works, bypass, decrypt, defeat, tamper with, or circumvent protections, use unauthorized copies, or exploit services in any manner not intended. If you fail to comply, Nintendo may render the device permanently unusable, in whole or in part. That's the headline here. If you violate the agreement, especially by modding your system or running unauthorized software, Nintendo claims the authority to shut down your Switch 2 permanently. We're talking full-on device bricking, not just banning you from online play or closing your account. This could mean your system stops functioning entirely. And because this is tied to your Nintendo account, it's not hard to imagine this happening remotely, without you doing anything in the moment. That's a big escalation. It's not just about banning accounts or removing access to online services anymore. Now Nintendo is saying they reserve the right to brick your actual hardware. Now if this is ringing a bell, it might be because just recently, people started noticing something else tucked away in Nintendo's legal language. The company also claims the right to record users through the Switch 2's built-in camera to help enforce the terms of service. So we're seeing a pattern here. Nintendo's becoming a lot more assertive in how it plans to monitor and enforce what you do with their system. Between the camera policy and now the threat of remote bricking, they're clearly preparing for stricter enforcement in this new console generation. The short answer is yes. It's legal, because by signing up for a Nintendo account and using the system, you're agreeing to their terms. But the bigger question is, should this kind of power be normalized? You bought the console. It's your hardware. But if you step outside of Nintendo's terms, by modifying the system or installing homebrew, they're saying they might effectively destroy your purchase. That rubs a lot of people the wrong way, and understandably so. So is this just a legal safety net, or something Nintendo is planning to actively enforce? Right now, we don't know. Maybe it's just a deterrent. Maybe they don't yet have the tech in place to consistently detect modified consoles. But it's also possible the Switch 2 includes new security features that let Nintendo monitor more than we realize, especially if those camera terms are any indication. One thing is clear. Nintendo is drawing a firm line. This policy sends a very loud message to the modding and emulation scene. Even if only a small percentage of users are affected, the threat alone might be enough to keep people from tinkering with their systems at all. Look, I understand why Nintendo is doing this. Piracy is a huge concern for them, especially after how much emulation exploded with the first Switch. They want to protect their ecosystem, but there's a line between protecting your platform and controlling hardware. People have paid for. And when a company can remotely disable your console, that raises serious questions about ownership and consumer rights. At the end of the day, you should have the freedom to use your hardware how you want. as long as you're not harming others. But with the Switch 2, Nintendo is saying, not so fast. What do you think? Is this policy fair game or a step too far? Do you think Nintendo will actually follow through with bricking systems? Or is this all just legal posturing to scare off modders? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to hear where the community stands on this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more Nintendo coverage just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.